Now on my watch 10:02. Thank you for joining. The webinar will commence now. Good morning. My name is Stefan. I will be your presenter today. I am a product manager here at Caseware Africa for public sector, and I've got also on the call Tsepiso Chabalala. He's our product owner, and Malagai, she's our marketing manager. They are all on the call and will also be assisting me through the presentation today. This is a What's New webinar for the GRAP, the latest GRAP release, which we sent out, I think, on the 19th of March. And this webinar is, the purpose of this webinar is just to, if you've looked at that release, or maybe you've started with that release, or if not looked at the release, just take you through what is in the release, but like training, and then also just show you all the tricks that's related to tips and tricks that's related to the release. Okay. We have a vision at public sector in Caseware to really have every public sector entity in Africa use our software to prepare, and with the purpose of to really provide software solutions that will strengthen transparency of financial reporting for public sector entities, which we hope and believe will contribute to a better government serving its citizens. That's just always nice, just to, who's your software vendor that you are dealing with? This is us. This is what we want to achieve, and this is what I just want to share. But let's jump into it. I hope to be completed a bit sooner than what the invite said, just to give you some time back. But if we go to full time, that's also okay. Cool. The software vendor, I just want to check in here something. I want to check here something. Just one of my colleagues has sent me a message, so I just make sure that that everything's okay. Cool, everything's good. Okay. So as I mentioned, we released the latest update of the GRAP on the 19th of March.
Hello.
What's important is also on this call, I had a look at who's attending. We've got municipalities on this call. We've got public entities that's on GRAP, but we always have public entities that's on our RFS product as well. So I just want to share both these versions. Let's see, that's my right, yes. Both these versions with all of you. So important, in the email, you would have seen that we released the latest GRAP update with the latest version of Caseware Working Papers. And then after Caseware Working Papers, there's always two versions depending on your license. There's the normal Caseware version, and there's the Caseware Smart Sync version. We recommend the Caseware Smart Sync version. See, there's some feedback on my side. I want to mute. Sorry, just hold on. Just make sure that everybody is muted. Okay. Apologies for that. I just had feedback here on my side. Cool. So we have the two versions of Caseware: normal Caseware Working Paper and Caseware Smart Sync, depending on your license. There is a small price difference between the two versions of Caseware. However, we really actually recommend the Smart Sync version. The Smart Sync version enables team collaboration much better, and that is the version that we would rather all the users be on. If you're not, I will show you how you can quickly see. If you're not sure, I will show also if you can quickly see how these what version of Caseware working papers you are on. And if you're not on SmartSync and you're interested, please contact your account manager, Basi, Nomsa, Iwandiswa, Kanisa, all of our team. They will be more than willing to help you to just move from the normal Caseware working papers version to the Caseware SmartSync version. Caseware working papers 2023, that's the most important thing. For this release, on both the latest compliance changes for both GRAP or IFRS, you need to have this Caseware version installed. Maybe that's the message. The way that Caseware working papers work, if you are bought it as an entity from Caseware, your Caseware working papers version automatically include connector. That's not the case for audit firms. For example, our colleagues in the audit or accounting firms, they need to buy a connector separately. But for our public entities and our municipalities, the connector is included. You would see now why I'm mentioning that. The connector is a very important software component to have. It enables Caseware to integrate with Excel, and I will show you now also in part of our update why that's now very important for you to use this software version connector. So the connector version is the same irrespective of the GRAP or IFRS. The same with the Caseware working papers. Then the version you should be on after this release is GRAP 2023-1001. On the IFRS side, it's IFRS 2023-0201. But those are the latest release versions in the market that you should be on from our perspective. Then I will show you where to get the software, and also some other nifty things I want to show you. Okay, but let's click here and let's go to Caseware Community. So Caseware Community is when you receive the email notification of the GRAP update. It's just a small intro telling you that, notifying you that there is a release available, and you will also then see, you'll be guided then to go to our Caseware Community website. So this is our Caseware Community website. So the purpose of this website is really, I just clicked on just another option, but the purpose of this website is it's a multi-purpose website. We share our content relating to the release at this website. There are all our different products that we have is listed here. You can see the wide range of products. Then we have the GRAP. This is the latest GRAP release, and then it gives you an overview of what is in this release. So you can, and we will go through the detail on the content now, but I just want to show you here. What's important then is to get the software. Is also then another purpose of this website. This is where you will get the latest software. To get the latest software, you go into login, and part of your onboarding process when you purchase the software, you will have a login detail, and then you will obtain login details, then you will log into the website, and then under your name you would go to My Software, and that will then take you, so on the download, you can see that there's My Software, and that will take you to this page where all your license information is stored. That download code is not working, so don't worry. And then you type in your email address, and it will then go to your download packager. So the download packager, I work for Caseware, so I've got access to all the software, but you will not see this long list. You will only see that's applicable to you. But I think what's important is you need to select what software you need to download. If you're a GRAP client, and most of our users attending this GRAP webinar is GRAP clients, and they select GRAP. And you would select your Caseware working paper version. And you would see that you would either have access to the Smart Sync, or you will have access to the normal Caseware working papers, depending on your license. But you will select the one, and then you will select the connector. So let's see, where's my connector? There's Caseware connector there at the top. You will go to next. You will generate a package file, and after you've generated the package file, you are able then to download the package file. Okay, and this package file is now the software that you need to have to install. So what will happen if you click on here on download, it will take you to your downloads folder. And from the downloads folder, you will have like a folder like this one that will say CWI installation. You can just open it up, and then you will see a setup file. You will double click on this, and then that will initiate the installation process that you can just click next, 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 and you will then install the latest software on your PC. I know maybe you've noticed, but we always receive a lot of questions about this at this point. All the work that I've done on my Caseware file, will it now be changed because I've now just installed the software? And the answer to that is no. You will, this is now just updating the application in the background, and the update, the content changes to your file has not yet been initiated. This is now just updating the application onto your file. So after you have now, after you have updated, installed the file, you would see that your Caseware icon would have changed on your desktop to say now Caseware Working Papers 2023. And if you go to your help, this is now also one of the places where you can see your Caseware version. You can see here this version 2023, release version 2, and I am on a Smart Sync version. As I mentioned to you, how can you quickly assess what version you're on? It's easy to check it here. You just open up, you launch your Caseware application. Your Caseware you can launch either from your from the shortcut on your desktop, or you can launch the application from your start, your Windows Start. This is where you launch the application. After you've launched the application, go to the help, and then you can see the version there. Also, what you would, so let's just launch, let's just do another version. I just want to show you. Also, what you will see is, this is the screen that you will normally see. So there's your help, there's the version there. Also, what you see is the template version. If you click there on templates, file templates, you can see that that's the GRAP 2023 version. And now you've got all the latest software and things installed on your PC, but this will not change your file yet. Okay, I think that's very important. Okay, so that's just on the versions. I just want to maybe jump back to the community page. What's important for us also on the community page is this is really where we promote self-service. If you've got questions, here is a lot of content that you can, that's around all the different products that you can check out. Also, this is the place where you will have access to our support team. Okay, very important. Really, we have had, you know, sort of criticisms to say, listen, we phone Caseware and then we wait for hours on a support desk. And the reality is that we've got, we've got a very strong support team, but we do receive a lot of calls specifically around specific times in the year, and then it's, you know, then it's our support lines are just fully booked, and so you need to wait in the queue. However, if you use our live chat function here on our Caseware community, this enables our support team to deal with multiple queries at the same time. Therefore, the probability for you getting helped via using the live chat is much better. And therefore, we also openly promote rather the live chat as the first option to engage with our support team. You just need to add your name, your email address, the entity you're from, and what's your support query about, and start chat. And then they will, and this is not a chat bot that you are talking to. This will connect you directly to a person, and then they will be able to help you. So I think that's very important takeaway just from this session. Caseware community, great place for resource. Caseware community, place to get the latest versions of the software. Caseware community, a great place to engage with our support team. Okay. What's also a very nice initiative is our Caseware YouTube channel. I know people in the presentation normally do this at the end, but you know, let's just do this at the start, where we really show you all the self-service options that we have available, and you can check out. And this is our YouTube channel, and you with a lot of short videos that can just help you to navigate through any questions that you have. So we are building up these short videos as we go along, but I believe there's already a few on here that can help our GRAP clients. If you want to see them, check them out. Again, so please, on self-service, if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go to youtube.com/Caseware-Africa, subscribed, and you will have access to a wide range of videos that can really help you in those times of need. 12 o'clock in the evening, nobody is available, and you need to do something, and you can easily get maybe an answer by that self-service option. Okay, just the last thing, and I know this is maybe things that you know, but this is also the things that really get people stuck. When you install the software from your download packager, just to go back to, you know, I'm here on downloads of now, I'm trying to install here, and I get a error message or a message to say, listen, you need access rights to install the software. Nothing strange about it. In our release documentation from Caseware, we clearly state that our installation requirements require local administration rights for the application to install. What happens is that your IT team will normally evoke all rights for applications to install, or unless they give their access. And so it could just mean that you need to log a call with the IT support desk that you just help you to install the software. I shared this before, and it's such easy fundamental stuff. And however, if we get this wrong, can just create a lot of headaches going downstream, going further. I just wanted to show you also, and it is also on the systems. So I just want to give you something, show you something here. Oh, sorry about my spelling. So I just want to just talked through, and I've mentioned this at the breakfast as well, but these are common, root causes of common support calls we get. What I want to show you here, this is now the system requirements for having Caseware working in your environment. Caseware is a Windows shop, so you need to have Windows installed. You need to have a nice PC. We would recommend at least a i5. You can see there 8 gig RAM is recommended. So if you have got a 4 gig RAM, at least go to 8 or even to 16. I think that will really give you a nice experience using Caseware. But what I want to show you here is these two important lines on security. I don't know if you've noticed also in the media how security is just getting more and more attention. Of all the phishing and all the ransom and all of those negative things. So security is important, but then we as a vendor also need to get our software to work on your environment, and therefore we clearly state in our system requirements that when you install the software, you need to have local admin rights, and that's maybe you don't have it, but your IT will have it. That's what's more importantly is that this one here is that the use of Caseware working papers requires read and write access to the program folder and any folders containing your Caseware files. What this means is that if you go here onto your hard drive, there's your program folder, Caseware, the application is installed here. If you don't see this, your IT has evoked it. They just need to be made aware of this requirement. But what it means is that if you go to this Caseware folder here, and you go here to properties, and you go to your security, the user of that's login to Windows needs to have read and write access. I've got full control, but the minimum is read and write. This is very important, and this applies now to all your folders. If you store your Caseware file maybe on your desktop, like I always sometimes do as well, then just make sure that the folder that you are sharing or storing your Caseware file also have the same read and write access. I just want to see here. You can see here my user have full access, read and write, so it's not a problem for me to store my Caseware file on my desktop. Normally the Caseware file is stored here under Caseware, program files, Caseware data, and this is where all the Caseware files by default get stored. But if you want to move it to somewhere else, like on your desktop or maybe under your documents, then just make sure that that folder as for your user that's logging in with your Windows login has read and write access. If you have that, then you should not have any issues at all. Okay, so I just wanted to please take note of that. That really is easy stuff, and if you don't get this right, it creates a lot of headaches. If we continue. Okay, so let's quickly just jump back to the slide, and I just want to. So we've covered all of those things, very important. Let's just quickly go through a compliance overview. The idea of this release is really to get you ready for your May submission to the Auditor General for the public entities. I do see colleagues of ours from municipalities also on this webinar. And then for your August submission, so you're a bit down the line, but it's the same content. So what we covered in this release, the changes that we brought about is just here improvements on GRAP 1, and just to make sure that we consistently reference to the significant accounting policies. We actually updated the heading of the section to refer to significant accounting policies, and this is really to try to one of the biggest criticisms we receive or that entities receive is the ASB noted a lot of unnecessary accounting policies being included in financial statements. And the standard clearly states you only need to include a significant accounting policies, and that also link up with all the latest improvements that was done on materiality, and we've also make a change on the materiality accounting policy just to highlight the impact of IGRAP 21, just to make that clear in your financial statements. But the point getting across here is, please, we get criticized and say users are using boilerplate templates, so they just use all the accounting policies that's in GRAP and they switch it on, they don't review it, and then you include a lot of unnecessary content in your financial statements. We all know, in the GRAP financial statements, we have a view, we provide you all the content, but you just then need to exclude with the switching it off process the content that you don't need, and just be cognizant of that. That's a sort of now number one target of the ASB when I criticize a set of financial statements, is to look at the comprehensiveness and the over comprehensiveness of accounting policies that you need to be concerned about. And I think that's part of the story. We've made changes in the wording in the introduction paragraphs to highlight this principle, but the point you need to make there is we want to make there is just make sure that you've got only the most important accounting policies included. Then we've made a change to the accounting policy for materiality that we included for the changes of the past decisions on materiality. We all know, and I think I'm not here to I can't do a great job as our ASB colleagues that gave us such a, they've really done a stellar job this year to give so many free webinars at the, that's I think the competency levels in those webinars is better than any industry currently in South Africa, and you get it for free, or we get it for free. So I can't get close to their content explanations that they do in those webinars. Please go and check out the YouTube channel of the ASB as well for those webinars if you've not done it on your side. But in essence, what we did is we made a small change to the materiality accounting policies just to highlight that new principle that if you in the past make a decision that something is not material last year and this year circumstances changed, that it is material, that's now other than not making just a blatant error in the prior year, then if those circumstances now have led to something to be material this year, you don't need to go and retrospectively apply that change in your financial statements for the last year's assessment of those items that was immaterial. That's and I think the ASB done a great job explaining that. We also updated the GRAP 3 new transportations note. Small note here you need to just take cognizance of. We go a bit further than the minimum requirements from the ASB. We include any new standards that have been approved by the ASB board in our financial statements. The ASB at the point just said you only as a minimum need to include all the new standards that was approved but not yet effective at the issue date of Directive 5. And we do go a bit further and include maybe new standards that was approved after Directive 5, like for instance the changes to GRAP 105, 106, and 107 that was approved by the board, I think in December. So we include that also in that new transportations note, just to be a bit more comprehensive. So, and the ASB say just it's not wrong. That's just more than the minimum requirement, but it's not wrong. Just to know that there was the GRAP improvements project 2020 And there was improvements made to I think 6 or 7 standards. However, we only focused on where the presentation disclosure needs to be updated due to those standards, and we just need to update accounting policy for GRAP 5 borrowing costs. We just extended the disclosure requirements on GRAP 20 relating to management services, and we also just updated GRAP 23.2 if you use service concession arrangements. Just more information about the carrying amount in all the different asset notes, PPE, tangible assets, and heritage assets. So that's just a quick overview. For municipalities, we've made sure that we cover really just the principles that's outlined in the guideline for landfill sites. Not really changes. It's not different to what the standard requires. I think it just the guideline just sort of help you to better understand the requirements of the standards in the context of the landfill sites and your responsibility there, or obligations that you need to know there. We just updated accounting policy for those based on that guideline, just to make it a bit clearer. But I think that the big ticket item this year is the GRAP 25. We decided to update the whole accounting policy for employee benefits with a new version. We've updated the whole note for employee benefits, and we've added, actually we added 2 additional notes for long-term service and for other long-term employee benefit, long-term. No. I'll check out now. No, it is the other long-term benefits. And then there's also, I think, the de-recognition. We added brand new notes for those ones as well. And then for our municipalities as well, colleagues, maybe not for our public entities, we have the 2 products. We have got a specialized MSCOA financial statements product, which we have introduced to the market. However, for our GRAP, clients still uses the GRAP template. We've just updated our auto map functionality that with the latest version of MSCOA 6.8. Other improvements, and I'm just sort of giving a bit overview, and then we will show you in the software. Maybe what I will do is after this session, before we go in, I will just check out if there's any questions. Then give maybe if you have a question, please post it, and we can try to address it as soon as possible. Then I will just check out if there's questions, check out if there's any comments, and then we will just move across to the demonstration. Okay. On the lead sheets, we've improved. This is a client based on client request. We just added lead sheet references on a statement of financial performance. We've actually made another improvement. I don't know if when you sometimes downloaded the software from community, and always during the installation process, you will be requested to punch in a code for connector that you don't need to do now anymore, because that code, you are licensed for it. So there's no need for you to punch in the code. We will just remember the code in installation. That is now corrected and updated. We have, I will just quickly show you, we've got, this is just like a view on the document map. The document map is a navigation tool, and we just have maybe views of that, in that a filter on that navigation tool, just to take you to places that has been updated or changed. Then we've got the notification manager improvements. This is just to notify you if there is a content change. You should have seen already a red icon on your working papers file notifying you that there is a GRAP release. And then we've just made the optimize improvements. This is just And when there is sections in your financial statements that you're not using, we will actually remove it from the file to make the reporting file smaller to improve performance. But that section is not removed forever. The moment you want to bring it back, you will just open it up and it will bring it back into the file. So it's more like on the background just for performance and speed. Then we will show you a brand new GRAP Cashflow worksheet. And yeah, so I think those are just the contents section of this webinar. I don't see I don't see any chats, I don't see any questions. If you have, please feel free to, on your go-to training, your go-to webinar, check out, you can type in a question or a chat and I will try to gladly respond to it. Cool. That is, that's now the questions. Okay, so you all know after you've now installed Caseware, you can create a new file, your name of your entity, and just to remember, in your training, you can't have any special characters like a point or a add or any of the special characters. You will get an error message that does impact how the software behaves. So just be cognizant of that. Create your entity based on a template, and then you create it. Okay, so that is, we all know that, and you can create or import a file as well. So I'm just gonna close down this instance, and let's just go to this one. So when you open up so we've now confirmed your software on the workstation has been updated, but we are at this point have not made any changes to your file yet. So after you've now installed the software, you will browse to your file, and when you browse your file and you open up the file, what will happen, there's just a small conversion that will happen. That's now just converting the file from a application version 2022 to the application version 2023. That's not an update. That's just a conversion, that because you're now converting the file from 2022 version of the application to the 2023 version. What after you've opened up your file, you will, because you will be you've now installed, you were on Caseware Working Papers 2022 version, now in 2023 version, and if you open up your file, we'll convert your file, but that conversion is not a content update. After you've now done a conversion, this screen will pop up, and this is the screen that manages the content update. You will see that you have two options. You have your new and replace, or your update option. We always recommend the second option. The file new and replace is really when you start from scratch, any customizations will be lost, and we just literally replace your financial statements, your data that you've imported, with the latest content that we've released, but you will lose all your content. However, we will recommend that you use the second option, which is just adding the new content. You will confirm that you have made a backup. You would see that you would not be able to commence with the update process if you didn't confirm that you've made a backup. And if you're not sure that you have made a backup or not, rather don't tick this and click update. Rather just go and make a backup and then update. Because if we've updated that file, we've updated that file. And if you didn't have a backup and there's something that you want to go back to, then you don't have backup. So we would rather just at this point, that's why there's a shortcut key to the backup to do the backup. And you can ask, just do not show again this update screen. That's why when I open up this file, that's the screen didn't automatically pop up because I had to do not show again ticked. If I have it unticked and I open up this file, the screen will just pop up reminding me that there's update available. At this point, you will click update, and then this will run for about between 15 and 20 minutes, but I think it's more like 15 minutes. It's not a big update. And then all the content changes will be applying to this file that you're now working on. You can run multiple updates. So this update is only for this file. So if you've made a backup before the update and you've updated this file, but you don't like it, you can go back to the backup, then delete the updated file, go back to the backup, and make a backup again of the backup, and then update that backup as well. And so you can run the update or link to the specific Caseware file. So it doesn't apply to all the Caseware files. It just only applies to the specific Caseware file that you're in. They will only update that specific Caseware file. That gives you then this opportunity to without any, at the moment, at least if you keep backups, without any remorse, you can run the update, check out the changes, and if you're happy, continue. If you're not happy, revert back. So everything is in your control. Okay, but at this point, run the update, and then the update will apply. So you can see here, I've not run the update. This is the version of the file, and I'm just going to close down this file, and then go to this file. You can see here I've already run the update, and the version of this file has changed. Okay. So then let's go into it. After you've now run the update, the version has changed, and you can launch the financial statements. You can just launch the financial statements, double clicking on it, and then this is you can see this the updated version of the financial statements that has been applied. You can see that I've got here a consolidated file. I switched on the 4 columns, and it's not just the 2 columns. I can easily just disable, if I've got the license code, I've got the license code, so I can disable it. I'm just going to disable the consolidation, presentation, and disclosure, and just have the single entity presentation and disclosure, and this is what you will see. Okay, so I think the first point is to go to the accounting policies, and here really is the change that we've made. You can see here significant accounting policies. We really also again talked about the significant accounting policies, and I think it's really just to drive that point is this is really just significant. Be cognizant of that. On the materiality, we've also updated. There is remember in the previous release we've included actually we've actually included a lot of guidance on materiality. We also include a materiality working paper based on a guideline from the ASB, and the purpose of this working paper is really, and it's really optional. We also updated this working paper with further guidelines to the ASB's website. But the purpose of this working paper is really for you to establish your, go through a process where you document why you deem specific accounting policies as material and not material, immaterial, and also which of the standards is material and not material, and it's a comprehensive list of everything, and there's like a bit of a process. But yeah, this is based on a guideline document from the ASB that we've just done here. The point is have a document where you document your rationale of materiality, and that will really help you in your deliberations with the Auditor General. Because the point is that you can prove that you've gone through a process where management has applied their mind and made a decision based on their own judgment on what to deem as material, not material, and I think that should suffice as enough evidence for your auditors. And unless they disagree with your assessment, but then they need to prove, looking at the same fact sheet or the facts, that how they can conclude it is, you know, your assessment is different to their assessment. But that's part of the auditing game. Okay. Then and I'm really gonna so from a content point of view, it's and we just add a lot of new paragraphs into the accounting policies. Let's just go to the related party note. So we've also introduced this new. You can see we've moved away. We're starting to move away from these info buttons, where we really want to just communicate something important we feel is in the standard that we want to communicate. But we've seen users not using this option that often, and it was a bit limited also in space. And we've started using this guidelines that we just included in here as well, that you can switch on and off, but it will never print. So it's just something there to help you. The point is here is the another section that we added for your relationship classification for management services, additional disclosure that we've also added regarding management services that is in your related party note. Just quickly turn to the new transportations note. This note has been updated with the latest. These three standards were approved now in December, that we've added as well. And as you know, this note, you've got two options. You've got your summary option, or you've got your more detailed option that gives you a brief explanation for each one of those notes, and then you can also assess the impact of these content on your financial statements and discuss that. Again, we are as the vendor really erring on more completeness, but you can easily, if this is not applicable to you, just remove some of the items if it's not applicable to you. Okay, so that's the new transportations. I just want to look here on my list. I'm not going to show these two; they're not very widely used. The landfill sites, I'm not going to show that, but more like I want to get to the juicy stuff, which is the new node. This one down. The accounting policy. The accounting policy. So we've updated the balance sheet to refer to the employee benefit obligation. And I just want and then we also updated just a note with all the new presentation and disclosure requirements. There you would see that we sort of provide for a few different plans, but if you only have one or two plans, just then select the appropriate section and leave those open, then fill in all the missing areas. We have unpacked the present and value for all the obligations and the plan assets with and this is very still similar to the previous one, with the total link to your mapping, your total obligation on that you would have mapped to this specific area. Then but here is all the new disclosure requirements and the presentation requirements for each one of those that's now in the GRAP 25. Okay, so I'm just going to go through here. You can see it's really comprehensive, and then there's also all the additional disclosures that you need to consider. We added 2 new notes on the other long-term employee benefits, and I said derecognition benefits, sorry, it's termination benefits. I've got that word wrong. But in any case, we also deemed it necessary then to have 2 separate notes that helps you with disclosure regarding other long-term benefits and also termination benefits. That's one of the big changes in the GRAP 25, where better guidance has been included regarding the disclosure and presentation of these benefits that you would have, that you need to include in your financial statements. 5 employee benefits, the accounting policy. Also, we redid the whole accounting policy to align to the latest GRAP 25. What's important here, again, as you can see, it's just the content that we added with the layout of the content. But I think what's important here is to note is that after the update, we've done a major update of the accounting policy as well as the employee benefits note, which means that we will replace that whole note section for you with the new content. And the reason being is that our understanding, if you listen also to the ASB's webinars, is that the number, the standard, the recognition and measurement has not really changed. So the number of your obligation would not fundamentally change, or the way it gets calculated from prior year to the current year. So that impact would be the same. However, the standard really focused on improvement in presentation and disclosure, and that's why we've decided to replace the note and the accounting policy. Okay. I just want to check out what else I need to consider. Okay. So that's the, I'm just going to check in here if there's any questions up to this point. I don't see any questions. I don't see any chats. Okay, great. At this point, that's the content changes. So it's not a major content change this year compared to the previous years on the GRAP side, barring now just your work around that you need to do for employee benefits. Okay. Now going a bit into what new features users have requested that we added in the tool, and this is where we've now introduced changes to the cash flow statement. So previously we've included an Excel cash flow worksheet on our document manager that helps you to recalculate the cash flow statement. We've engaged with clients, and clients share the following use case on how they do the cash flow statement. Some clients just use our standard cash flow statement, even though, you know, for example, on the operating activities, it's very difficult for us to distinguish the cash movements regarding the receipts and the payments on the operating activities. Therefore, it's input. However, the reconciliation to the net cash flows from the operating activities note is automated, because that's just taking starting with your surplus and deficit and an add back of the non-cash items and the movements on your working capital to get you a value here. So that has not changed. However, so this is the standard cash flow statement, is still available to users as was there in the previous years. However, you will see now in the radio button, they've also have now a new option where users can link up the cash flow statement to a Excel based source. So what we have done here is we've included in the document manager a brand new cash flow statement worksheet, and you are not required to use this worksheet. The technology is so flexible that you can use your own cash flow worksheet, because I think that was the insight we received from clients, is that most clients have prepared a working paper, a worksheet that they calculate the cash flow, and they use that working paper to give to the Auditor General also as evidence. So the Auditor General will review the calculations, will calculate the working paper, and then compare them to the values that has been included in the cash flow statement in your financial statements. So what we have done is that we've now included what we believe is more just a standard working paper for calculating the cash flow statement. But we've added technology, and you can, if you read the instructions here, if you double click on the cell, it launches a dialog that enables you to link that cell to a cell in the in an Excel workbook that is determined. So what I've done here is that, and that's now for the current year and prior year, what we've done is that we pre-linked the whole cash flow statement to our new cash flow worksheet that we've added for you in the update. So we pre-linked it. You can just go, and if you want to look out, use our cash flow worksheet, and whatever change you do there will pull through to the cash flow statement here. However, what I've done in this cell here is that I actually unlinked it and from our default cash flow worksheet, and I just re-linked it to an Excel document, which I dragged and dropped onto the document manager to show the workflow. If I would want to link up my cash flow statement to my own cash flow worksheet, then I am able to do that. I'm able to do that by going to Excel document, drag and drop it onto the document manager, and then the moment I done that, you can see here, if I double click on the cell here, there's now that Excel document that is now available for me to use. There's all the different worksheets in that Excel document I can link up, and then I just need to know the cell name, the cell number, or the range name, and I can link it up, and it will link up that value and bring it up here into the cash flow statement. Okay. However, for our standard cash flow statement, maybe that will also just help you to understand the concept better. In our new cash flow worksheet that we've included in here is it works on the following principle. You've got your balance sheet and your statement of financial position and statement of financial performance, and the reconciliation to your operating activities note. But that is the calculation, and then that calculates your cash flow statement. And then what we then do is that we've got separate sheets for each one of the years, and then this our cash flow worksheet, we just use name ranges because it's a bit more flexible to a cell number, especially if you add rows into your Excel document. Then we just link up. For example, you can see that cell is name range OYY AAY CSGS, and we then link it up to that cell there, which got now that new name range, and that's the value that will populate now in your cash flow statement. But that value in this cash flow worksheet is derived from, we use connector technology. That's why it's important. You can see this is connector. And if you are a public entity, and I said it's not maybe the case for audit firms, they don't by default get to connector technology. It's only our our public entities and our municipalities that part of their license they get the connector technology. And what a connector technology is that it's an add-in. If you use Excel a lot, you know there's a lot of add-ins available for Excel, and this is now just a Caseware add-in equivalent, and you have on Excel this add-in. And then what this add-in enables you, the moment the Excel document is within your document manager, you are able to hook up the cell to the Caseware database or the working trial balance. So what we do here is that we sort of unpack the whole balance sheet and the income statement just in Excel using connector, using mapping numbers. But then we have it calculates then for the cash flow statement. We will calculate the movement on the balance sheet, but then we have also a calculation of the cash movement, which is then the result of the normal movement plus or minus the adjustments for non-cash items, which you can then punch in here in the input fields on the columns to the right. Okay, so that will then calculate your non-cash movement, and then you have and this is the very nice feature. Then this all line items in your cash flow statement, you can with the drop down allocate to the where it needs to show in the cash flow statement, the classification in the cash flow statement. So this line item, this will go to investing activities, and this line item will go to the operating activities, and this one will go to the operating activities taxation. So whatever, and you can, it's flexible. We just pre-linked it, and you can change it as you want, and it will just change the allocation in the bottom. So that's the green allocation, and then that's on the cash flow statement, and then we've got the same for the income statement. Then there is items that are deemed non-cash items, which doesn't have an allocation, and that will then calculate for you your net surplus, and then we just recalculate the note. We unpack the calculation of the note here, and all of that will help you then just to calculate the cash flow, this cash flow statement, and then this cash flow statement here is then hooked up or linked up to the cash flow statement in your financial statements. But this is just our version of the cash flow worksheet. Again, we don't we do disclaim the moment you use this feature, it's done at your own risk, even though you're using our version as well. This is just done at your own risk. And but this is just showing how the cash flow statement works. I think fascinating for me also is it's just a rule about the cash flow statement is signage is extremely important in the cash flow statement. Anything inflow is always a positive number on the cash flow statement. This is how the investors and our colleagues in the banks assess the cash flow statement. So they would look at a cash flow statement and say, listen, the inflows of cash is always a positive number, and then the outflows of cash is always a negative number or a number in brackets. And this is also what we try to highlight here with the blue and the red, the inflows and the outflows of cash in the cash flow statement in each one of the categories. Okay. I see there's now a question. I'll go to the question. So, but this is the cash flow worksheet that we've included for you. Okay. The question: linking of Excel file on the document manager and cells on the apps. Can I prepare an Excel file to link my risk management note, and does it update automatically? Tabu, great question. Unfortunately, not yet. We can definitely, we will note it as a feature request. So this this functionality we only made available in the context of the cash flow statement. So we have not introduced this functionality anywhere else in the financial statements. In theory, we can apply this technology at any place in the financial statements, but you would see and understand the risk that we have is that now you sort of override your whole workflow of importing and mapping, and that drives your reporting, and that creates credibility with this feature, where the cash flow statement is, it's one of those areas in your financial statements which is not a function purely of your trial balance, because in your trial balance included is a lot of non-cash movement. So I think that's sort of our assessment of why this feature is only available on the cash flow statement. However, I think you've got a very nice use case regarding to include it in the risk management note, and it's definitely functionality we can extend to other areas in the financial statements. However, we will be very cautious with this technology. It reminds me of Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. So we need to be very careful on where we apply this type of technology. Yeah, but I think, well, a very good note. We will definitely take that into consideration. Thank you for that great feedback. I'm just going to check out if there's any other questions. Okay. Let me just go back to my slide. So we've done with the cash flow worksheet. So I forgot about these data retentions. So I think just to go back to the other user improvements that we've made is a very nifty feature that I actually use a lot is the document map. So what the document map does is just helps you to easier navigate within your file. You can see here you can either use your go-to, which will go to the accounting policy, or you can use the F5 that I just want to do. Sorry, I did now the wrong one. I did now print preview, the F4. Apologies for that. Just give it a moment to complete the print preview. I wanted to show you, it's just the F5 is the go-to, but other than that, you can also just use your the document map to navigate after this. I've now just completed the print preview. I don't know why it's taking so long. You would note as well, I am working in a Caseware Smart Sync environment. So this file is syncing to Caseware Cloud. So this file is syncing to one of my cloud instances. That's why you've got this icon here at the bottom, and I think it just also can make this process a bit slower. Just give it a moment. Okay, cool. It's actually the print preview. So that's not what I wanted to show you, but you will know the Caseware print. The document map is a feature, so just check out this. If you go to your ribbon here at the top within your financial statements, you go to view, you go to document map. That will enable this layout here. and the purpose of this layout is to help you to easily navigate in the context of your areas. You can see here all the notes, and that's just for easy for you to quickly. You can see here, if I jump here, it jumps also on the right hand side. However, this feature also gives you, and if you now go to view paragraphs that has changed, or view all content that has been updated or insert, this is just for you to manage, to check out what the update did. So you need to enable the switch on the document map, and you switch any of these things, then it will just then filter the jumps in the document map to the areas that we have inserted or changed or updated. So it's really just to help you to scope what has changed a bit better. So this is the document map feature. Then there's the notification manager. Just check out, I've already updated this file. So you should, if you have not updated your file, you should actually have received on your desktop, this icon should have turned red. And the reason being is that we have released an update, and we need to, and you would be just make aware of that you need to go to community to download the update. So that's just the notification manager. And then lastly, but not least, the last least is just on the statement of financial performance, we just added also just lead sheets for each one of these line items. And it's also available on your document manager. And if you go here to income statement, we've just extended all the lead sheets for each one of the rows. So clients wanted to have a lead sheet for every major line item on the balance sheet and on the income statement, and you always had it on the drill down. However, users wanted to, because what's the user journey? Users want the lead sheets because they can right click and export the lead sheets into Excel, and then give this as the evidence to the Auditor General, and that now just with the lead sheets now on the document manager just makes that process much easier for all the line items on the face of the income statement as well as on the balance sheet. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go to my slide. I hope, okay, if there's any questions, please pop the email. Oh yeah, when there's one thing, sorry, I forgot about one thing. On the new cash flow worksheet, I just want to show you, it is documented here. If you've now changed the values on the Excel and you go back to your case view, it will not always automatically update. But if you want you see that the values didn't update, all you need to do is again go to your Caseware ribbon here in your Caseware file, and you go there to tools and you click there to recalculate, and then that will update the value that they've punched that you are now linking from in your Excel document here on your case view financial statements by just clicking on tools, recalculate, and that will update then this value. We've also documented here, if you've updated maybe two cells, it will to updates, but we in our testing we did see that sometimes values don't get updated, but you just need to recalculate using this recalculate option here on the tools recalculate on the ribbon, and then this values will automatically pull through. Okay. I think that's about what I wanted to share with you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them now. If you want to get back to us, please you can easily get in contact with me or your account manager, and they will get back to you. on any of these questions. Oh, there's a question. Great, thank you. Oh, so great question. I'm actually, thank you for asking that. Okay, let's go there. I think I can show you that as well. Okay. So I think to best explain what Caseware SmartSync does is I actually want to take you to show you a quick video, and you know, I must say the video explains it so well. I'm just gonna this one. So I just want to go to another presentation I did at a breakfast, and in this presentation we also cover this question. Cool. Open up a link. So I just want to check out skip. I just want to check. I just want to check if my settings correct. I just want to see that you guys can hear the audio from the video. Let's check sharing screen. Sorry about this. I just want to make sure that the audio is also sharing. I want to show you this video. I don't see anything there wrong. All good. Great. Okay. I just want to check in with my team. Did you hear that video playing, Tsupisu?
Yes, we did.
Yes, you did. Okay, thank you. Let me then continue. Thank you for that. Okay, cool. That was just a small video I wanted to show. Okay, so I'm just gonna see here. I've got some questions and chat. Okay, just okay, and then I just see there's a hand that was raised. Tapelu. Okay. Tapelu. Let me see if I unmute you. Just maybe ask your question. Okay. Sorry, I don't see the hand anymore.
I'm sorted.
Tapelu, you are unmuted. If you want to, are you sorted? Okay, yes. Cool. Thanks, man. Okay, cool. Thanks, Tapelu. Okay, so let me. So that's the type of video. I think conceptually does a very nice job, but so the advantages of SmartSync is, so I've got a copy of my Caseware file here locally on my workstation, and if I so this is a copy of this file, but then this file actually are linking to another copy of the same file that is stored on our Caseware Cloud, my Caseware Cloud instance. So that's just Caseware Cloud is. I'm just going to go to this release cloud. Caseware Cloud is one of our new products where clients will get their own website or their own Caseware website where they can store all their Caseware stuff. No? See your GRAP demo. This one. Let's see to which instance. Sorry about this. I just make sure I'm linking to the right instance. Oh, sorry, it's the wrong. This is the wrong instance. Apologies for that. I've got various websites that I'm subscribed to. This is the right one. I'm going to get my password for this one. But in essence, Caseware Cloud is like a storage place, and then it also integrates with Caseware. But it serves very similar to if you would have had a central server. So I'm just going to quickly just pause. I just want to get, I don't want you guys to see my password. So give me a moment. I just want to get my password. I'm just going to show again. So Caseware Cloud serves very much the same purpose as your server. You know, so this is but this is a always available server that is now hosted by Amazon. Okay, but the advantages is that I've got the Caseware file locally here. I've got a copy that is of this file also stored on this server that is hosted by Amazon in a cloud environment. So what the cloud environment means is that in order to access this server, you just need to have an internet connection with the relevant login details, and then you can access this website, and then the file is stored there. But what now can happen is that if I share this file with one of my colleagues, let me share that with Sepisu. See here, Sepisu is not, so he's not yet on this cloud instance. I didn't prepare this, but this is like now a real software demo. I'm just gonna add Sepisu here as a staff member. You can see how easy it is. This. Email address. I'm just going to add him here as a staff member. I'm going to give him access to staff admin, owner access, and okay, then I'm going to share this file with him. And Mr. Chabalala, I hope you are watching. I'm going to put you on the spot now. I'm just going to go to my entities. Share this file now with him. Let's see. It's not yet, didn't share correctly. Apologies for this. This is now some of the setup stuff you need to do. I just need to make sure that I assign him to this entity. Now he is also assigned to that entity. So if I go back to that entity, again, this is now, if you've now used the software, there should be pre-set up, or you should have spent time on this, but I'm just showing actually how easy it is to do that. Advanced protection enabled. Sorry about that. I just want to see why. Okay, but sorry about that. I should have set it up before. But the point is that I can share this file with my colleague, and then what will happen is that he can then download from this website a copy of this file onto his workstation. But this is now the power, and I just want to show you actually how it works. But now what's happening is that I am working on my workstation this side, and he can be working on the same file on his workstation on the other side. And what if both of us are linking to the cloud instance,